Section 2.7, Marginal Analysis. In this section, there's quite a few formulas. So on the notes, on Canvas, I have provided all the formulas, so make sure to check them out. I'll have some of the formulas written for us as we go through these examples. Example 1, given C of x equals 175 plus 0.8x, and R of x equals 4x minus 0.01x squared, find Part A, marginal cost function. And as you can see, I wrote down the formula. Okay, it's C prime of x. You're just going to take the derivative. Whenever you see the word marginal, that's a hint to take the derivative. So you're going to take the derivative of your cost function up here. Okay, well, we did the derivatives last time. So the derivative of a constant is 0, so that's just gone. And then 0.8x. Well, remember, we're supposed to bring down the power. There's just a 1 here, so 1 times 0.8 is 0.8. And then we'll subtract 1 from the power, which will make it 0. X to the 0 is just 1, so the answer is just 0.8. Whenever students just see x to the power of 1, they know the derivative is just the number that's in front of the x. Okay. All right, part B, marginal revenue function. Well, again, we're just going to take the derivative now of the revenue function. So we've got just 4 minus, okay, bring the power down. So 2 times 0.01 is 0.02 x, and then 2 minus 1 is 1, so we don't even need to write the 1 there. And then the marginal profit function, P prime of x. Okay, well, there's a formula. There's more detail to the formula in the notes, but in our problem, we already figured out R prime of x and C prime of x, so I just wrote the formula that would work best for us. Okay, so we've got 4 minus 0.02x minus 0.8. So we get 3.2 minus 0.02x. Okay, example 2. The total cost in dollars of producing X food processors is C of x equals 2,000 plus 50x minus 0.5x squared. Find the exact cost of producing the 21st food processor. Okay, well, you'll see in the notes, I put the exact cost is C of x plus 1 minus C of x. The x plus 1 is what they give you in the problem. Okay, so 21 is our x plus 1. Then to find x, we just subtract 1 from it, so 20 will be our x. Okay, so we need to find out what C of 21 is. So that means we're just plugging in 21 for x right here. So we've got 2,000 plus 50 times 21 minus 0.5 times 21 squared. And I already put it in my calculator. Let me see, what did I get? 2,829.5. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll plug 20 in for x. So I've got 2,000 plus 50 times 20 minus 0.5 times 20 squared. And I got 2,800. Okay, so then plugging them into our formula up here, I have 2,829.5 minus 2,800 equals $29.50. Okay, so that was our exact cost. When they ask for the exact cost, figure out C of x plus 1, figure out C of x, and then subtract them. Okay, part B. Use marginal cost to approximate the cost of producing the 21st food processor. Well, marginal cost, we want to take C prime of x. So we'll look up at our C of x and take the derivative. So the derivative of a constant is 0. The derivative of 50x is 50. And then we've got 2 times 0.5, which is just 1. And then x to the 2 minus 1, which is just 1. So we don't need to write anything. And we want to find, it's x, remember. So remember how I told you in the problem, they give you x plus 1. So if they want just x, that's 20. So I'm going to plug 20 in. So approximately $30. Well, that's good, okay? Remember, this is the approximation, and this was the exact. So they should be very close in value. If not, check both of your parts and make sure that you didn't make any minor errors. Okay, and finally, example 3. The total cost in dollars of manufacturing X auto body frames is C of X equals 60,000 plus 300X. Find the average cost per unit if 500 frames are produced. Okay, well, average cost is represented by this C bar. Okay, and to find C bar, you're just going to take your original function and divide it by X. Okay, so we get 60,000 plus 300x all over x. And they want us to plug in 500. So C bar of 500 equals 60,000 plus 300 times 500 over 500. Okay, and again, I put it in my calculator already, so let me just see what I got. I got 210,000 on the top. And then when I divided it by 500, I got $420. Okay, part B. Find the marginal average cost at a production level of 500 units and interpret the results. Okay, well, first of all, marginal average cost is C bar prime of x. We're taking the derivative of C bar. Okay, well, it's nice to be able to see what C bar was in the first place. This is what we got for C bar. But the only rule I've really told you about for derivatives is the power rule. So I want to rearrange this so that I can use the power rule. I want to move this x up to the top. Well, the x is the denominator for both of these two terms. Okay, so we've got 60,000 over x, but I'll move the x to the top. So let me just rewrite. Before I find C bar prime, let me just rewrite, sorry, I didn't mean to write the prime again. Rewrite C bar, okay, as 60,000 x to the negative 1 plus, okay, because we moved the x to the top, and then 300x over x is just 300. Okay, so now looking at C bar here, we know how to take the derivative of this. We'll use the power rule, multiply the negative 1 times the 60,000, so that'll give me negative 60,000 x to the negative 2 when we subtract 1. And then the derivative of a constant is 0, so that's it. My C bar prime of x is right here. And then I just want to plug in 500. So I left some room up here because I figured we need a little more space. Okay, so I've got C bar prime of 500 equals negative 60,000 times 500 to the negative 2. Okay, and again, I did put it in my calculator, and I got negative 0.24. Well, what does that mean? At a production level, of 500 frames, average cost is decreasing. Of course, decreasing because we got a negative answer at the rate of 24 cents per frame. And of course, feel free to write it in your own words. And then part C, use the results from A and B to estimate the average cost per frame of 501 frames if 501 frames are produced. Okay, well, we found the average cost per unit of 500 frames, and then we said that at a production level of 500 frames, the average cost is decreasing at the rate of 24 cents per frame. So since we want to find 501, we'll just subtract 420 minus 0.24 gives me $419.76. Okay, in your homework, some of them talk about revenue instead of cost, but they're the same formulas. You'll see them in the notes. So just give the homework a try, and if you have any questions, let me know.